Good morning, everyone. It's Beth Grant with the American Diabetes Association. Thank you for joining us today for Stop Diabetes Insight, the November edition. This morning I have with me Rob Nagel. He is the Associate Director for Tour de Cure for the American Diabetes Association. Welcome, Rob.
Beth, thanks for having me on.
All right, let's just jump right into this, Rob. Let's start talking. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me throw out, we do have a support group that's coming up next week at our office. Check out my slide. It is about holiday eating. It'll be Tuesday, November 18th, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And the special guest is to you, Rob. Let's discuss Tour de Cure 2015.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about the dates and the location for tour.
Sure. The 2015 Tour de Cure will be at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on June 20th, 2015. We've gotten our date a lot earlier this year. It's really helped out in generating more registrations. It's our goal to keep moving up and getting more people, raise more money for those that have diabetes and all that are affected by diabetes.
That's great. So let's talk about some of the route options for the tour.
Sure. We have 4 options that we've gone with over the past 4 years. We may add additional route options at a later date, but for now, route. They will start on the track and finish on the track, but they will go out and head northwest from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Okay. We do have 2 options really for the 100-mile track challenge. You can do 100 miles on the track, which is 40 laps, or you could go out and do the 75K road route and then finish the remaining laps on the track.
Great. So this is sort of an all-day event, right? There's stuff that's going on at the track also. So these people ride a lap, they can come back in, relax for a little bit, kind of an all-day event.
Sure.
Correct?
And I think it's important to point out that this isn't just for very competitive cyclists. This is for everyone. You can have a recumbent bike, you can have a mountain bike, you can have a road bike, you can have a very high-end bike. It's really up to you, and there's a skill level and an option for everybody. There are rest stops out on the track. There's vendors inside the track. There's games and things like that for kids. There's a dedicated kids area, and we do have some groups that come out and they bring new cycling-related products. So it is an all-day event. We have a DJ or a band. So we have a lot going on that day.
Well, good. And then the road routes also, there are rest stops along the road routes too, correct?
Right. There are 2 rest stops on the 50K road route and 3 on the 75K. You're not going more than 12 miles without a rest stop.
Okay. Well, that's great. So let's talk about some of the people that ride. Mm-hmm. You touched on it just a little bit.
Why we put the event on. So we like to recognize those people. Everyone that meets their fundraising minimum, that is a Red Rider, somebody who says that they have diabetes, we give them a jersey and make sure we recognize them not only just at the start through the announcements, but throughout the day as well. There's a special tent. There's a special team, Team Red, for those, and that have diabetes and their families, or just in general, if somebody doesn't have a team that they want to join, or doesn't have a team, they can join Team Red. So it's kind of Indiana's hometown team.
That's great. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit. You touched a little bit about the fundraising minimum. There
Right.
is a registration fee also for the event.
Right.
Go ahead and share with our audience what the registration fee is now, and then it is going up, correct?
Right. The registration fee at the end of January will go up to $25. Right now it's at $15, but if you use the promotional code TOUR5, all caps, and TOUR, TOUR, and the number 5, you can get $5 off your registration fee right now. The fundraising minimum is $200 for those 18 and above. And, we are the 11th to raise as much as we can to help stop diabetes. The registration fee, a lot of people ask why there's a registration fee if there's also a fundraising minimum. Well, obviously, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is not free. Food and support and vehicles that are out there, ambulances, a lot of this stuff costs money. So we do that to offset the cost and make sure everyone has a safe experience and a fun experience.
That's great. All right. Well, you'll see also on our slide down there at the bottom, that is the website for registration, www.diabetes.org/Indy Tour. Check that out. Now, also fundraising.
Right.
That scares a lot of people sometimes, but we offer several tools to help them with that.
Right.
Can you explain some of those?
Right. Once you're registered, you get your own web page where you can fundraise online. We have secure pages so people can donate and not have to worry about that. But once you register, you get your page, you get an email stating that you have it. You can go to it. You can upload your own pictures. You can upload your own video. You can change the message that's in there. You can send out emails through your tour center is what your web page is called. Through those emails, you can upload a contact book and then send it out. With whatever message you want. We've made it as easy as possible, as easy as it possibly can be. You can put photos in there. You can use a general message, or you can create your own message to send out to people. On there's a button that they can be directed right to your page and donate. So it's really simple. There's also Facebook. If you use Facebook, you can go ahead and download that app. And send out a request via Facebook for people to fundraise that way.
That's great.
So those are two options. Obviously, check and cash are still okay as well.
Right. They can turn in a collection envelope also.
Right.
Usually pre-event and then day of.
Right. We prefer it pre-event that they can bring it to our office, or they can mail it to our office, and just noting on there who it's for and that it's for Tour de Cure. That way we can get that money in ahead of time, and then you can show up and not have to worry about it.
Right. Now you can stay plugged in with the tour information all year long. They have a Facebook page also. It is facebook.com/TDC Indiana, stands for Tour de Cure. Mm-hmm. Also, there is a Twitter page. It's IN Tour de Cure. So you can check out both of those and, stay tuned for information year long. Thank you for joining us today, Rob. We look forward to seeing you guys out on the track in June.
We look forward to it.
We'll be right back. Thank you.
Everyone knows it's easy to find first-run movies in the big theaters. But where can you go to watch your favorite classic movies on the big screen for the perfect night out? Why rent a flick when you can rent the entire theater? Call today to reserve our 32-seat theater for your next event, or just stop by to see what's showing this weekend. The 14 by 7 foot screen and the high quality digital surround sound system offers all the amenities you would expect from the big theaters, with a laid back atmosphere and comfortable seating of your own home. Wofford Theater at 1744 South 10th Street in Noblesville gives you the classic movies you want with a big theater experience.
When Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage: Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Hi, welcome back. Beth Grant again with the American Diabetes Association, and I have with us today a very special guest, Anna Busenberg. She is a registered dietitian with St. Vincent's Women's Hospital here in Indianapolis. Anna, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
We appreciate you coming to talk with us today. As you guys know or may not know, November is American Diabetes Month, and our theme this year is America Gets Cooking to Stop Diabetes. There are different themes for every day of the week, so if you pay attention to our Facebook page, you'll get further information about that. Tuesdays are Tasty Tip Tuesdays, so check out our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/IN or AM Diabetes IN, and that information will also be available at the end of the show. So let's go ahead and jump right in. We are going to talk about having a healthier plate during the holiday season. Anna, go ahead and just jump right in here. We've got some examples here too.
Yes, I did. So this time of year tends to be a time where people are balancing a busy schedule with work and the holidays, and there's a lot of food that is involved. Starting here with Thanksgiving,
Right.
we all get together to have a big meal together, and it just continues, it feels like, until the first of the year. And so being able to navigate and figure out how to eat healthy is very important. I work with typically pregnant women, but a lot of them do have diabetes, whether it's a type 1 or type 2, or they're recently diagnosed with gestational diabetes.
Right.
So this is something that I end up talking about quite a bit, but especially here around the holidays. So I kind of wanted to touch on what foods we should look at in terms of minimizing our portions of, and then also looking at what would be maybe some healthier substitutes for some of those traditional Thanksgiving and holiday foods.
Right, very good. Well, I'm excited to take a look at these plates here. So do we just want to jump right in?
Yeah,
with
so I
this
brought
one?
with me two different types of plates. And so this first one actually has traditional Thanksgiving foods. So if you kind of look at it, is there anything you happen to notice about this plate?
Well, it looks very bland, I guess. You know, there's not a lot of
is.
excitement going on,
No,
I guess.
there's a lot of yellow. That's what I was
Right.
noticing when I was
Okay.
putting it together. So what that kind of symbolized for me is that we have a roll here, which is great. It's probably a whole wheat roll. That's an excellent choice. However, when we start to add up the number of starches that are on this plate, we're probably going to go over our limit, especially if we want to keep that blood sugar in check.
Correct.
At this meal. So, as I mentioned, a roll. So this is an appropriately sized roll. Again, most of us may eat more than one roll, which is going to be part of our problem. So if you're going to have a roll, choose a whole wheat one and make sure that you indeed just have one.
Okay.
Also, below the roll is some stuffing. And stuffing is primarily made of what? Bread.
Correct.
And so it is just another form of another starch. So that's great. I love stuffing. However, some people do incorporate some vegetables into their recipe, some celery, some carrots, and that's great. However, the primary ingredient still tends to be bread. So I would definitely limit that portion of stuffing. If you're going to have it, I would maybe do half of a roll with a little bit of stuffing. Again, it all comes down to moderation and balance.
Right.
And then over to the side next to the stuffing happens to be green bean casserole.
That's a staple at our house.
It is. And it's topped with fried onions. So, green bean casserole tastes delicious, but it is just filled with food items that are probably going to cause your blood sugar to go a little high. First of all, green beans are great. They are a low-starch vegetable. However, we have paired it with a condensed soup, cream of mushroom soup. So we've added in cream, we've added in sodium, and then we've topped it with another fried vegetable, which happens to be onions.
Yes.
So it is not the best choice. However, I'm not going to tell you can't eat it, but it again comes down to moderation.
Okay.
And then, of course, we have some turkey, which is perfectly fine. It's a great protein source. No carbohydrate really in that we need to worry about. It's primarily protein. It's a lean meat, which is great. So honestly, I love the turkey. However, the rest of this, as you notice, is yellow and just contains a lot of starch.
Right.
So I wanted to then provide a better plate for us to take a look at today. And this one does look a little different. As you notice, there's a lot more colors.
Right.
And
pretty.
it is pretty. And I've tried to incorporate a variety of vegetables. The turkey has stayed the same, so that's a 3-ounce serving of turkey is one serving. But then I've also paired with it non-starchy vegetables. So as you can see here, there are Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, carrots, all of which are low in starch, and so those are going to be great. You can saute these. You can put maybe a little even butter on them, put them in the oven, make them taste good with some seasonings, but then you don't have to worry about the carbohydrate in them because they're low in carbohydrates. So that's an excellent option. Now, I did pair it with a sweet potato.
Yes.
So I liked this as a starchy vegetable. Now, you could also do a roll here. You could do half a sweet potato and part of a roll, something like that. But the main emphasis is a quarter of that plate is going to be a starch. So I happen to choose the sweet potato because I just think it's a very beautiful vegetable.
So we do also have a slide too that can, our audience can take a peek at here and just see, we were talking about how to section your plate.
Exactly.
Share with our audience kind of what we're looking at here.
So this is going to be our goal, which was the second plate that has half of your plate filled with non-starchy vegetables. So again, it gives you some great ideas on there on the slide, as well as then a quarter of our plate is going to be grains or starchy vegetables, and then a quarter is going to be a protein, hopefully a lean protein source. So in this instance for Thanksgiving, it would be turkey, but it could be ham, it could be anything like that as well. And the nice thing about this turkey as well is that it was cooked, but it wasn't fried. It wasn't,
That's really popular.
Exactly. It didn't have a lot of extra fat added to it, so that's going to make it a little healthier choice as well.
So if you are looking at maybe the fried turkey, do you cut your portion down, or is that appropriate? It's still okay to eat it, but is that kind of how you balance?
Yes, I would say moderation is going to be key here, especially with those higher calorie foods.
Okay.
So if you do happen to fry your turkey, I've had it before, it's delicious, but make sure you're sticking with at least one serving, and that would be 3 ounces, or the size of a woman's palm would also be 3 servings, kind of as a visual aid there. But yes, restrict your portion, and that will probably be the smartest way to go.
Very good. All right. Well, we are talking about, definitely all of the healthy choices that you can make and the sizes of your portions too. I know that sometimes that's really difficult because it all looks amazing and you just want to pile it on your plate. But a lot of the times, we say at our house, oh, my eyes are bigger than my stomach. Mm-hmm. So I just noticed that you can see the color on the plate. You are keeping it down. So for maybe the sweet potato, what size? It sort of looks like about the same size of the meat, the 3 ounces.
Yes, it's going to be small. You can actually buy a lot of our potatoes in the grocery store are huge. So I would say if you get a big potato, cutting it in half would probably be a good place to start.
Great
idea.
idea.
This sweet potato happened to be a little smaller, so that's fine. So I would stick to, again, it easily fits in your hand, whereas some of those sweet potatoes that you get are just ginormous.
Right.
The nice thing with the non-starchy vegetables is that you can eat more of them. Again, they don't have the carbohydrate. So for those people that are worried about controlling their blood sugar and counting their carbs, these non-starchy vegetables are going to be their best friend. Because especially if you are trying to limit your portion of the green bean casserole and the stuffing, these non-starchy vegetables are going to to help fill you up. They have fiber. They're chocked with vitamins and minerals, antioxidants signified by their bright colors, and they are going to be a wonderful asset to your meal for the holidays.
Well, that's great. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, but we'll come back and talk a little bit more about making healthy choices away from your table during the holiday season. We'll be right back.
Everyone knows it's easy to find first-run movies in the big theaters. But where can you go to watch your favorite classic movies on the big screen for the perfect night out? Why rent a flick when you can rent the entire theater? Call today to reserve our 32-seat theater for your next event, or just stop by to see what's showing this weekend. The 14 by 7 foot screen and the high quality digital surround sound system offers all the amenities you would expect from the big theaters, with a laid back atmosphere and comfortable seating of your own home. Wofford Theater at 1744 South 10th Street in Noblesville gives you the classic movies you want with a big theater experience.
Have you ever gone into a store and demanded that you pay the full retail price as opposed to the advertised sale prices? Not likely. I mean, everyone likes a good deal, right? Well, what if there was a way that saving money could be fast, fun, and profitable? Intrigued? Well, it's a new program from Paid to Save that uses a model called incentivized sharing, and it's super simple and totally cool. And here's how it works. Step 1. Save money. You can download our mobile app for free from the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Our app is designed to save you money all over town by listing the deals, steals, and coupons of local merchants and the big box retailers like Target, Best Buy, Sears, and Walgreens. Step 2. Share the savings. Our app has viral tools allowing you to instantly invite all of your friends to download our app and share in the savings. Step 3. Make money. As your friends go around town saving money, you'll be making money. At Paid to Save, we know how to say thank you, and we do it by paying you a percentage of all commissions received from all the people who've downloaded our app as a result of your sharing. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. And as your friends tell their friends, and their friends tell their friends, there are opportunities for you to make even more. So go ahead and download our free mobile app so you too can start getting paid to save today.
Hi, welcome back. We are again talking about healthier holiday eating today since it is November, American Diabetes Month. America Gets Cooking to Stop Diabetes. We're giving suggestions on, your portions, what you should have on your plate during the holiday. But what happens when you go to someone else's house? You're going to another gathering. There's all of these events that are happening at work, at play. Anna is giving us more suggestions of, what you can do just to help control your healthy eating during the holidays.
Well, one of the things that I typically run into is when you're going to these parties, people often bring food, or if you're having a meal at your house, that you often have some appetizers. So if you think about it, we're having this huge meal and then we preface it with more food.
Right.
And so that is a common problem, and it can be kind of challenging to navigate that and figure out, well, what would be a healthy option? What could either I bring or what could I eat that would be helpful in my controlling of my own blood sugar? So I wanted to suggest some good ideas for appetizers and kind of rethinking what people normally serve for appetizers. A lot of times it tends to be pretzels with mustard, fried pickles, things like this that taste delicious, however, are just not diabetic friendly.
Right.
And so I wanted to mention, as you can see on this slide, talking about a relish tray. This is a very simple, very easy idea to bring as an appetizer. Again, you can even buy this at the grocery store. You can just go and pick one up. This one has a ton of different fresh veggies that are included with it. Now, I also like the idea of pairing it with either a low-fat dressing or a hummus. I don't know if you've ever tried hummus.
I am a hummus fan.
But it's delicious. It's chickpeas and has some oil that's kind of all pureed together. But it's an excellent protein source. So I actually really like that, especially
Very
for diabetics, to pair your vegetables with a protein source.
And they have lots of different flavors too.
Yeah.
So, it's not just the plain bland. So you
Exactly.
can mix it up that way also.
Yep. And again, you can make this yourself, or you could go to the store and buy hummus that's already prepared. Again, this is very easy, and it could be something that you do from scratch, or it can be something that you just simply run to the store on your way to that party to pick up that appetizer.
Right. That's great. Well, let's go ahead and talk about some of the recipes too that you could be making during the holiday season. What are some of the things that we might be able to do to make those recipes a little healthier?
Yeah, well, one of my favorite desserts for Thanksgiving and for Christmas is pumpkin pie.
Yes.
And that's a pretty big staple. And most diabetics, I have found, find the desserts the biggest challenge because they taste delicious and you want to have that food and eat that with your family. So I wanted to bring today a recipe to kind of provide a healthier pumpkin pie dish for you. So this, again, incorporates a canned pumpkin. It's pretty simple. You can just go to the store, and I'm sure most people would have a lot of these ingredients already in their kitchen.
Right.
It actually uses a Splenda product. You could use any type of artificial sweetener if you wanted. I like the Splenda, so that can be a great additive. It also incorporates a little bit of honey to add a little sweetness to it. We, of course, have pumpkin pie spice. It incorporates 2 eggs. Again, with this, you could use an egg substitute, like an egg beaters product
Oh, okay.
or something like that if you want. You don't have to use 2 whole eggs if you are watching the amount of fat in your diet.
Very good.
Also, a little bit of vanilla is added, as well as evaporated fat-free milk. So all of this is mixed together, and this dish actually doesn't have a crust. So that is where we save on some of the carbohydrate. It is a
good.
crustless, healthier pumpkin pie recipe.
Okay.
And so the directions incorporate you mixing all the ingredients together and then placing it in a spring-formed pan. So that's a pan that has a latch on it. It's going to allow your pie dish to kind of expand a little. It's going to be kind of fluffy. And so putting it in a dish like that is what you're going to be using to bake it. And then you'll just bake it in the oven. And when it's done, you can pull it out, and it will be a great way to enjoy pumpkin pie, but without all the calories as well as that added carbohydrate.
That's fantastic. Very good. So there are other recipes that you can check out too. This website actually is from the American Diabetes Association, the diabetes.org/recipes. There's tons and tons of recipes on there. Were there any that you came across that you kind of jumped out at you, or?
Well, I really like looking for those recipes, especially around the holidays, where you can make an easy substitute so you can still enjoy the traditional Thanksgiving foods like we talked about earlier, but consume less calories and hopefully less carbohydrates with those dishes.
Right.
So again, with your green bean casserole, for instance, if you're able to maybe saute your green beans and not necessarily coat them in that cream sauce, but you can
Right.
still maybe add some oil, add some other seasonings to them so that you're still eating green beans just without all the added carbohydrate, and then topped with fried onions. So kind of finding those ways to incorporate those vegetables into your meal. Also, another common one is cranberry sauce. If you think about that,
Yes.
cranberries are wonderful, but they naturally contain carbohydrate. And then we put them in a sauce and add extra sugar on top of it.
Right.
So that's really a killer when it comes to your blood sugar control. So if you can find a recipe that uses more of just the cranberries with less added sugar, or uses sugar substitute like a Splenda or a stevia or something like that to sweeten them, that would be an excellent alternative to the traditional cranberry sauce.
Great. That's fantastic. So we have some examples here too of, we've talked about the food, but what about the beverages that, you do want to have water or milk or something along with your meal. So help us out with some suggestions of what we should choose.
Yeah. Well, that is something that is often overlooked. We put a lot of time and emphasis into, well, what are you eating? What choices are you making? However, drinks tend to be very calorie laden. And so especially if you're drinking any type of soda, any of that's a regular soda product is going to have added sugar and going to increase the amount of calories in your overall meal. So if you can do a diet alternative, that would be more ideal. If you were to also think about lemonade, sweet tea, those type of items, again, added sugar. So if you can do a diet alternative or a Crystal Light product, something like that, it's going to help save you on a little bit of those added sugar calories and ultimately carbohydrate. So ideally, water is great because there is nothing added to it. There's no extra sugar, there's nothing in it, so that would be ideal. However, I did bring with me today pink lemonade that's actually Crystal Light, so that would be a great alternative.
Very good.
So those are some good beverage options. And then if you think about it as well, alcohol. I don't know if your family consumes alcohol around
Definitely
the holidays.
some wine.
Some beer. Again, all of those are going to have a fair number of calories, and even the beer is going to have carbohydrate as well as the wine, because ultimately that sugar makes it taste sweet. And so making smart choices when it comes to what alcohol you're consuming. 1 glass is a serving for women and 2 glasses is a serving for men. And so I'm kind of trying to abide by those rules. For wine, I believe a serving is 5 ounces. So it's a little less than that 8-ounce cup. Right. So again, not a huge wine goblet, but in moderation, that can be accounted for. But just make sure you are, if you are counting your carbohydrates, taking into account whatever beverages you're consuming with that meal.
Right. All right. So also with, what you're eating, what you're drinking, we also talk about exercise. What should we do to help out during the holidays? Going to someone's house, having a big meal, before or after? What are some tips that you might have for us?
Well, if you think about it, we go to someone's house and we sit down for a meal, and then we probably sit there afterwards to talk with them and hang out, or we probably sit and watch some football. And so it's a lot of sitting. So I think that if we make a conscious effort to try to be more active, that's going to be extremely helpful. And there have been studies that have shown that people who walk, just simply walk before a meal, would then tend to have lower blood sugars following that meal. Okay. They also did studies to look to see that people, when they walked after that meal, also had lower blood sugars. So whether you're walking before or after, it is going to help your blood sugar control. So there are some excellent opportunities here, especially around Thanksgiving, for people to get out and walk, to run, to get out with their families. I know of at least 2 Thanksgiving Day races that are in the Noblesville area.
Correct.
And so those would be wonderful opportunities to get out before your Thanksgiving lunch or dinner, and be active and walk around. Another way that you can get moving, if you think about it, sounds kind of goofy, but shopping. So Thanksgiving is a popular time to start your Christmas shopping.
Correct.
And so if you get out there on Black Friday, walk around, spend a couple hours navigating the malls and going through all the crowds of people,
right,
that's an excellent opportunity to walk and get moving more.
Very good. Well, these have been fantastic suggestions. We appreciate you coming out today. Thank you guys for tuning in for our November edition of the American Diabetes Association show. We look forward to seeing you guys in December. Thank you.